All right, welcome to another episode of Gin and Truth. I'm the captain of the ship, Robert motherfucking Reed. Got a tumble full of interest, combined with thoughts. Let's go. All right, gang, let's jump into this shit. But gang, before we jump into the meat of today's rotted sandwich, I'm calling it out right now. We're doing this. 20 shows in 20 days. 20 shows minimum. You guys hold me to that. We're doing this. But gang, the meat of today's rotted sandwich is the bullshit that is Christian apologetics, as always. Now, again, gang, please go fuck yourself. Like I said, I'm not hot to trot. I'm not Mr. Debate Me, bro. I'm not turning down, 500 invitations to debate a month. I'm not that dude. I don't want to be that dude. And I told you, if they just sat there in a little circle jerk and kept it to themselves, I wouldn't give a shit. But again, you can just go up the street to the University of Texas at Austin, and again, you got people like Fuckface, Cliff Connectley, right? Again, getting nose to nose and trying to physically intimidate kids that are literally young enough to be his children's and doing this philosophical bullshit, right? Again, this fucker is trying to figure out, what fraternity do I want to join? What sorority do I want to join? What alcohol am I going to drink tonight? No one got up that morning thinking they were going to have to go down some Christian apologetic bullshit road. That's what Cliff Connectley knew he was going to do that day, and he does it. And that's what pisses me off. And again, then they post it on their fucked up ass websites as this major W for Christian apologetics. Again, you are going to work. You are thinking about your job. And if me, as a 7th-degree black belt's hiding around the corner, it's like, okay, I caught this motherfucker slip and wham! And just, punched your fucking face in, then posted it on robertkicksass.com. Look at Papa's monkey ass. I'm like, I'm the world's greatest fighter. They didn't know they were going to be in a fight. That's what this is like. And I hope an apologetic fuckface sees this and rips it and takes it out of context. Again, just make sure you get one of these, right? It is not a game designed for us to win. You want to know why? We won't say God done it. It's a dishonest way to communicate. And the only way you can do this is on the debate stage or when you're doing these fucked up ass man on the street style interviews and bullshit like that. I keep it real. I keeps it real. This is me all the time. Again, am I out here just, when my mom was alive, did I walk through the front door? Hey, mom, fuck face, suck on my nuts, juggle my nuts all in your mouth, fuck face, you fuck. No, but I keeps it real. And you know who I get it from? My mom, my dad. These motherfuckers, they incapable of not being brutally honest. And we're now kind of at the stage where we can you're starting to remember the funny things about mom, right? It still sucks. It's only been 4 years, right? And I remember telling my sister this story about a coworker, and it was the first time mom ever showed up at my place of work. I didn't set it up, but it's not a secret. We're all from Louisiana, right? And mom's walking in. I'm like, oh, and there's this person, and it's like, let's call this person John. I was like, Mom, this is John. John is, and for whatever reason, John just got a hair up his ass and decided to call Mom coon ass. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. And it was one of those like guys, you know what I'm talking about? When one guy get hits in the nuts, we're like, oh. That's what I was like, oh, fuck. Mom had never met this motherfucker. Like, why would you say that? And put him up against a wall, literally, with her words. And he had him like, oh, hum it. And she just ripped him a new butthole. And she did it without raising her voice. Mom kept it real. Mom always kept it real. Who Carrie was on Monday is who Carrie was on Tuesday. And if Carrie was in a good mood, you knew she was in a good mood. And if mom was pissed the fuck off, back the fuck up. She just kept it real. There were no games to play, right? Apologists didn't get that fucking gene, right? They fuck around and do the bullshit. But it's an act. I told you, these are porn stars. You can't survive in the real world like this. Let's say fuckface Frank Turk decides, you know what? I'm going to go get an actual job. I'm going to stop kicking the bullshit. Frank is a Navy veteran. He is. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to work for USAA. I'm going to apply for a job. I'm used to speaking in front of people. I just belch, hashtag I'm professional. I'm a veteran. Maybe they can, hook me up. So he goes, he's interviewing, and there's like, okay, looks here, okay, fuckface Frank Turk. Oh, thank you for your service. You're a Navy vet, okay. Okay, the USS Reagan, okay, Bosa mate, okay, we got you. Well, there's a big gap on your resume there, fuckface Frank Turk. What have you been doing for the last 30 years? I mean, you're in your 60s, you enlisted in your 20s. What have you been doing? Talk to me. What do you mean by doing? I'm sorry. Did you? No, I was asking you because I see you enlisted. Again, thank you for your service. We want to take care of our veterans. I want to know what you've been doing for about the 30 plus years that you've been out of the Navy. So, what have you been doing? What do you mean by Nick? Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Go suck some dick. Right? You porn star. This is what I'm talking about. You can't survive like this in real life. You can't. It's an act, right? Their only mission is to be the last person standing during a debate. And again, they're not fucking around. Let's bring it all the way back to Lenovo days, gang. If it sounds like there's a fan in the background, it's because there's a fan in the background. It's getting like that in Texas right now. This summer's going to be fucking brutal. Back on topic. But again, at least when you're entering the bullshit, they're not lying to you. And when you're looking to join a club, and this club tells you, okay, in this club, and if someone asks you a question that you don't want to answer, your response should be, pizza sleeps fast under the West, therefore the mudge. Now, if you said that to me, I would walk the fuck out. I don't care what your club's about anymore. That sounds fucking stupid. I'm out. But you got to understand, some fuck faces heard that and were like, sign me up. That's what I'm saying. This is the gold standard of fucking dishonesty. Again, let's go ahead and hit it with the Autobots. Transform and roll out. What do you see? This bullshit. Fuck face Frank Turk. Now, there's a reason why I chose it. What would happen if, look at his face. God, I can't stand this motherfucker. What happens when you mix fuckface Frank Turek with fuckface Kirk Cameron? I don't know, but we're getting ready to find out. So let's go on over here to YouTube, gang. This one it's on Kirk Cameron's channel. Fuckface Frank Turek. And the fucked up thing is, you guys can probably barely see it. Down there on the bottom left-hand corner, if you can see that green right there, it says fundraiser. Fundraiser. Let me go back over here. A fundraiser. Give me money so I can teach you to be a fucking liar. All things are possible with God, but make sure you write me $100 check. Right? It's amazing how God can't make any effect on the real world without someone taking some real world fucking intervention, right? Some real world fucking steps. God blessed us with all this money. You mean you just prayed and you opened up your bank and $1 million are in there? No, we had all these donors. A fundraiser. A fundraiser. You got me fucked up. Frank Turek. Use questions to reveal proof of God. Then it's, I don't have enough faith to be an atheist. Gang, let's hit it with the blow up shoe 8. Do me a favor and please go fuck yourselves. And I saw that in the upper right hand corner. They'd already raised over $1,500. That's exactly $20 trillion too much. Yes, I acknowledge that's the title of all his seminars, because it provokes, it makes people pay attention. That's fucked up. That's like saying I have way too much sex to be a virgin. And it doesn't make any fucking, or I fuck every day, therefore I'm a virgin. It takes no faith. And as soon as Christians shut the fuck up and listen versus assert, they would know that that's sitting on some bullshit. And he'll tell you, I did that, because it's a catchy tagline and the blah. That's what he actually believes. It takes no faith to simply say, I don't believe you. Well, there's a timeless, spaceless, immaterial, disembodied mind. If you don't believe that, then pizza can take a nap. Fuck you. I think you're lying to me. You have faith. Right? But again, use questions to reveal the proof of God. This is tactics. Again, if you have to use tactics to talk to someone that you know in advance that you're not going to agree with, you're lying. See, because like fuckface Craig Reed and fuckface Chris, they can't survive an actual back and forth. I invited them both on this show. Motherfuck the Jesus shit. I don't care about logic. I don't care about pizza taking a nap. I don't care that you asserted my position. You told me you weren't going to do this, and you did it. You said you weren't going to say that, and you said it. I got about 24 times I've caught you in a lie. Let's talk about these motherfucking lies. They wouldn't do it. They can't survive an actual back and forth. Apologists, that's how they operate. And Turek has said it. Greg Koukl has said it. Do not answer questions. Instead, ask the atheist. You're the one making a claim. You need to back that. One more time. Please go fuck yourself. I am making a claim that I am drinking alcohol out of a tumbler with the old Houston Oilers emblem on it. Oh, you guys think that's water? Please go fuck yourselves. You guys think I'm fucking around, don't you? Coming back. I told you I don't fuck around with that cheap bullshit. Tumbler. Alcohol. Please go fuck yourself. That's delicious. You guys notice how all I did was make a claim, then back it up? I didn't have to ask you, can you see the laws of logic? If the proof of God was half as easy as that, there would be no atheism left. Now, fuck it. Let's roll this fucked up ass tape. Let's see what's going to happen. Roll the tape. No, what happened? Got to be more careful.
Every other verse is at least possible. The greatest miracle in the Bible is the first verse. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. If that verse is true, every other verse is at least possible.
Pause the tape. You can fuck you. This asshole script has never once changed. It's never once changed. 15 years ago, I saw him do this to Christopher Hitchens. He's such a used car salesman, and he's good at it. He'll talk a million miles an hour, and he'll slip that in. The next thing you know, you just agreed to that. You just lost the debate. Right? Look at Bubba. Come here. It's your fat ass. You guys say hello to El Senor Mr. Buds. The Bubba! Okay. Oh, shut up. You talk too much. Same shit, different day, right? Again, no, that's not how it works, right? The first verse is already true. You haven't proved it yet. You haven't proved it yet. But again, it's that philosophical bullshit, right? Well, philosophical, shut the fuck up. Prove your God created the world by talking to himself, then we can move on from there. Until then, shut the fuck up. Roll the tape.
Including the verses that talk about him rising from the dead.
Why do you think so many Christians, when they're asked questions, or even when they're trying to initiate the conversation with the gospel, get so defensive with atheists or critics? Why do we feel so wrapped up tight and get?
Pause the tape because you know you're sitting on some bullshit, Kurt. That's why. That's why. Again, I don't get wound up. 101 martial arts. It's cool to sit here and say you're a black belt, and you know you're talking to a real black belt because chances are he's not bragging or she's not bragging about his or her black belt. But it's real simple. When did you get your black belt? Who gave it? Tony Morrell. Anything else you want to know? Look me up on the Kaji Kimbo family tree, Tony Lassett branch. Trying to think, what's my ID number? TL420RCR51. Look it up. Right? You know you're lying to someone. Right? Oh, well, I took a super secret test underground. You don't know the guy, but, and he did. And Pizza Steve Fast Under the West, therefore the Mudge. I did the Kumite. I fought Jean-Claude Van Damme and Frank Dukes. If it just takes you this long ass time to explain how you got your black, you're not a black belt. You're not. Right? No. Who gave it to you, Tony Morrell? 5-hour test that almost fucking killed me. That fucking sucked ass. Yeah. Right? If you're like, why do they get so defensive? Because you are a grown-up trying to convince another grown-up that a virgin got pregnant. No. That's why. Roll the tape.
Get defensive about stuff when we know the truth.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is that we can't imagine how somebody couldn't agree with us, which I find actually kind of odd, Kirk, because people always ask me, you go to these college campuses and sometimes these students get hostile. Why do you not get...
Pause the tape. You're not sitting on the truth. You know you're not. Again, try that in your everyday life. Come home, Frank, 2 hours after you told your wife you're going to come home. You are reeking of another woman's perfume. She sees you getting undressed. There's lipstick on the rim of your on the waistband of your goddamn underwear. Try that bullshit with your wife. You guys are monogamous. You said you were going to go to strip clubs or fuck other girls. Try that shit with her. I double dog dare you. Frank, were you cheating on it? If there is no God, what's wrong? Is there something wrong with me butt fucking another woman? By what ultimate standard is it wrong that I put my nutsack in another woman's mouth? Try it. You try it. Oh, you won't? Then go fuck yourself. Seriously. Talk like this every day and let's see how well it works out for you. Roll the tape.
Get mad at them. And I say to them, I'm 62 years old now. When I was 22, I didn't agree with my 62-year-old self. So why should I expect some 22-year-old kid right now to agree with my 62-year-old self? I wasn't a Christian at 22. Why should I expect this kid to be a Christian now? I don't know what family he's come from, what he's seen, what he's experienced, what he's thought about, what he's read or haven't read. He may really, and I'm sure probably really does believe that what he believes is true. So I shouldn't expect him to agree with me.
Yeah.
And I remember Paul saying that God...
Again, Paul, there's no way we're making it through 20 minutes of this bullshit. But again, is atheism on the rise? Yeah. But I just think about my college experience. And maybe I'm in a bubble here. I doubt it. But some way, somehow, they always seem to go to the one college that's like 95% atheist, right? But here's the thing, they're fuck nuts. And again, I told you, the internet will one day kill religion. You can't lie to today's kids the way that you could have lied to just I'm 10 years younger than fuckface Frank Turk. Look at the wrinkles on his fucking face. It's amazing what lying will make you look like. You can't lie to kids the way you lied to my generation, his generation. Fuck around and tell a kid you don't have to have sex to get pregnant. They'll ask Alexa, and Alexa will crush that bullshit in half a second flat. You're going to have a lot harder time. You will, quote unquote, win your debates on the college campus, but you didn't convert anybody. Those kids are going to go back and they're going to look some shit up. Everyone now. You guys understand I'm old enough. You got Commodore 64. You guys remember when a computer took up the entirety of your goddamn desk and heated the room up that you had to blast your air conditioning? You guys remember that? The fucking computers that they used to send people to the goddamn moon, each one of those was the size of the average fucking refrigerator. Look where we are now. You can't lie to today's kids, Turk. So I don't care what you got packing. This bullshit is going to slowly get choked out. Roll the tape.
Treated me with grace, even though I was an insolent and arrogant man at one point. And I think we need to remember that. When we're talking to people, we should.
You used to be. Pause the tape. You still are. You are. I've seen your bullshit. I'm not donating shit. And again, you are taking advantage of vulnerable people. You don't need a fucking seminar paying $100 a session. It's real easy. You want to learn how to talk like Turk? Lie. Act like you don't know the definition of simple topics. What do you mean by good? What do you mean by bad? I think rape is bad. If there is no God, what's wrong with me just raping girls? There you go. You want to pay me $100? I'll put my Venmo up. You can pay me money. It's just really that simple. Gang, I doubt we'll make 10 minutes in. I'm already mad. Roll the tape.
Couldn't expect them to agree with us. So simply try and find out why they believe what they believe. That's why I ask them a lot of questions.
Yeah.
You're saying, oh, there can't be a good God because there's too much evil in the world.
Go fuck yourself. That is exactly why you don't ask questions. You are the one making the claim that a God exists. And that's where you stop. Now you use tactics. You keep that 20-year-old kid talking. Then you'll ask the motherfucker an unanswerable fucking question. And again, go fuck yourself. Roll the tape.
Well, what do you mean by evil?
What? What did I just say? What did I just fucking say? I haven't seen this clip, by the way. Please go fuck yourself. Roll the tape. We should end the tape right now.
Questions.
Yeah.
You're saying, oh, there can't be a good God because there's too much evil in the world. Well, what do you mean by evil?
Should we just end the tape now? What did I just tell you guys? I haven't paid a dime. I have not paid a dime for his seminars. I already know his song and dance. Gang, I've always said this. The definition of strength isn't walking into a room and knowing you can whip everyone's ass and then doing it. The definition of strength is knowing all that and walking in and making everyone your friend. Buying people their drinks, asking them how they're doing, protecting them, sometimes even from themselves. If you know you got the gift of gab, you know you can influence people, but you take this bullshit to separate rubes from their money, fuck you. Fuck you. I mean, now I'm pissed off. This is a bully. Roll the tape.
Tell me what evil is, because they're not going to be able to explain what evil is without reference to good. And if they reference good, they're back to God. because there's no such thing
Yes.
as good in an
Colin,
objective
What
sense
did I just say?
unless God
What
exists.
did I just say?
Good is the only way we'd even know what evil was. So sometimes just by asking a few questions, you can get them to realize that the assumption underneath their question is false.
Yes. It took me a lot of years of watching videos of guys like you and Ray Comfort and understanding presuppositions and all of that stuff to even be able to understand.
Pause the tape. You guys do me a favor while I'm sitting here looking some bullshit up. Go fuck yourself. King, if you ever find yourself quoting Ray Comfort as an authority, I can't listen to what you say. I can't. I'm going to get marital fidelity advice from Donald fucking Trump. Right? I'm going to get financial advice from Bernie fucking Madoff. Right? I watched you, and then I watched fuckface Comfort and Turk. And you saw those two performances and decided to sign up. Okay, roll the tape.
Understand what you're talking about. But I think a lot of us get defensive because we're afraid that somebody's going to unravel my faith with a question that I can't answer.
Could be. That's okay. There's a lot of questions I can't answer. Actually, when I get a question I can't answer, I normally say, you should have asked me that when I was 17, because I knew everything when I was 17. Somehow I've forgotten.
Yeah.
But there's questions all of us can't answer. But I think what we need to remember, Kirk, is that we ought not let what we don't know cause us to doubt what we do know. And there's a lot we do know. We do.
Pause the tape. This is when I'm going to quote noted historian and philosopher Aaron Raw. If you can't show it, then you don't know it. Knowledge is demonstrable. I made a very simple claim about 10 minutes ago that I was drinking alcohol. There's no games. I don't have to ask you, what do you define gin at? I told you I was drinking alcohol, and I proved it. If the Christian God was a fraction as provable as me drinking alcohol, again, atheism would fall asleep and not wake up. Roll the tape.
You know the universe had a beginning, so there must be.
Papa, come here. Look, my dog knows not to ask that stupid fucking question. Right, Papa? Don't we already know that we don't know that the universe had a beginning? Haven't we had this conversation? Papa says yes. Science is working on the answer. This is the dude, Papa, that always quotes the Vorde-Guth-Vilenkum theory. Adam Guth of the Vorde-Guth-Vilenkum motherfucker. What did he do, Papa? That's right. He said, we don't know. We don't know if the universe has a beginning. Is Turk's got a PhD in like fuckfaceology? Right, he does. He's not a scientist. Right, Papa agrees. Even Papa knows that we don't know if the universe had a beginning, right? Right. So why do they continue to kick the bullshit? Why? Because they have no other means of creating income. These are porn actors and actresses that have no other marketable job skills. Roll this fucked up ass tape.
Be a beginner. We do know the universe is fine-tuned, so there
No,
must
we
be a
don't.
fine-tune.
No, we don't.
We do know that.
Okay, this is the equivalent. We know that when you have a scrape, a burn, or an abrasion, you put oil or you put butter on it. We know that. We know that. My grandmother used to do that, by the way. We know that the rhythm method is the single most effective way to prevent pregnancy. We know that. We know that. And we know that storks bring babies in the middle of the night. We know that. That's what he just said. We know the universe is fine-tuned. No, we don't. We actually know the exact opposite. We don't know about the beginning. We don't. These are liars, gang. Liars. And they are well-paid liars. Roll the tape. Shit.
There's objective right and wrong, objective moral standard. So there must be a moral lawgiver. We do know there's very good evidence that Jesus predicted and accomplished his resurrection from the dead. We know all those things beyond a reasonable doubt, not beyond all doubt. So if we have questions outside of those things, that doesn't somehow negate the things we do know. It just means we haven't thought through these questions enough to figure out what the answer is yet. That's okay. We're finite creatures. We're not going to know everything.
Really?
That's right. That's right. We just need to watch a few more Frank Turek videos and Greg Koukl videos. I'm just so grateful for apologetics books.
Really?
I never felt like apologetics. I was always waiting for guys like you to come out with the silver bullet that would just end all arguments. Like, you guys are so smart. Why don't you guys all get together, figure out all the questions, answer them, and let's be done with this and just move on.
The problem is there is no.
Pause the tape. One, I really wish I could lie to you guys and say I'm looking at like porno or some bullshit like that, because I'd much rather be doing that than listening to this bullshit. You are idolizing a liar, a piece of shit. This isn't anything to be proud of, Kirk. It's just not. Turek is not a good person. He's a good salesman, and he knows who to target, but he's not a good person. Right? You again, what did my mom used to say? When you lay down with dogs, your monkey ass gets up with fleas, gang, every single goddamn time. Every time. You're looking up to the worst of the fucking worst and asking them why can't they do better? Because they can't. Roll the tape.
No silver bullet, because most often I found anyway that disbelief is not a matter of the mind, it's a matter of the heart.
That's not
And that's why I always ask young people and
if Christianity were true, would you become a Christian? Again, this is a script. He's looking for that monosyllabic answer, yes or no. What he doesn't want to hear is everything after that. Again, if Christianity were true, let's ask Uncle Bobby. If Christianity were true, would you become a Christian? No. No. The Christian God is a piece of shit. Horrible, evil, the dirtiest of the dirty. This is the most vengeful, jealous, cripplingly insecure motherfucker there is. Oh, you think I'm lying? Okay, fine. Let your child date someone with a fraction of God's characteristics. How fast would you be calling me a self-defense teacher? How fast would you be calling the cops? Okay, roll the tape.
old people at the microphone. I asked them if Christianity were true, would
What
you
did I
become a
say?
Christian? And Kirk, 99 times out of 10, they'll say no. In front of hundreds of people, they'll say no.
I believe it, and I've seen it.
Yeah. And I'll say, wait a minute, you claim to be an atheist. You claim to be a beacon of reason. How is it that you wouldn't believe something that was true if you...
No. This is what I'm saying. Doesn't want to listen. If you could prove it to be true, I would believe it. I would. I wouldn't worship him. I wouldn't become a Christian. I mean, if Christian is defined as someone who believes in God, then yes, I'm a Christian. If you could prove it, I would believe that motherfucker actually existed. Would I worship him? No, I would not. I would not. This is an abusive partner at best. So no, I would not worship the Christian God. Roll the tape.
You claim to be reasonable. Because it's not a matter of reason.
Yeah.
It's not a head problem. It's a heart problem. They don't want it to be true. They don't want there to be a God because they want to be God over their own lives. They're not on a truth quest or on a happiness quest. And ladies and gentlemen, can we be honest? Sometimes we're on...
Pause the tape. This is so fucked up. It's hard to listen to. It really is. Again, you're talking for us. And there's the problem. Atheists are on the ultimate truth quest. And that's why we're atheists. We're not going to bite on the bullshit until you prove it. And he just sat here and said, don't answer any questions. Ask them instead. Right? Look for sound bites. And go fuck yourself. Again, why is that bad? But again, when you're a Christian, you have to sit here and convince yourself You're this horrible sack of shit. You deserve nothing but the worst and the blase and the fucking flavonoids, and this is what you sound like. Right? What, you want to be fulfilled in your life and happy and satisfied and what, comfortable? What kind of fucked up shit is that? I don't think it's fucked. It sounds pretty good to me. Sounds pretty good to me. I can't stand this, dude. Roll the tape.
On a happiness quest too. We're not on a truth quest. We just want to believe what we want to believe to make us happy. So I always ask them, if Christianity were true, would you become a Christian? And I recommend people out there that you ought to ask that same question and see if people are honest. If they're going to tell you the
We
truth,
are honest. That's the problem.
will they believe if Christianity is true? And too often, the answer is no. So what do you do with
That's a
people like?
question. If you can prove it to be true, I'll believe it. I think you should ask, would I worship that motherfucker? And I just belch has that. I'm saying that loud and proud. No, I would not. Christianity is immoral. What the fuck? Okay. Again, it's immoral. If you don't believe as I believe, I'm going to hurt you in ways that you cannot imagine. Oh, and by the way, you deserve it. It's been a while. Okay. 3 ice cubes, bitch. I don't know what program. Go in there and get that belt. Go in and get that belt. I clearly haven't beaten you enough. I gave you every opportunity to get the number right, but some way, somehow, you fucked this up. So there's 2 people in this house, and I'm going to tell you what. One of us is going to get some skin taken off their ass, and it's not going to be me. So who's left? If you dated someone who even joked like that, you would call me. You would. Right? I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to have a stroke. Roll the tape.
Like that. You pray for them. You love them, which means you don't approve of everything they do. You seek what's best for them. You drop seeds or plant seeds every now and then you wait, Kirk. You wait because sometimes people are only going to come to faith or be interested when something happens in their life.
Okay. Now the problem starts. And I've said this to people before in the past. The first person I said this to was the Kenny guy I keep referencing. You ever notice how God never shows up on a random Tuesday when someone has $1 million in the bank, happier than a motherfucker, their body doesn't have any pain, all their family members are alive, this life is great. You ever notice how God can't show up until someone's in the fucking gutter and desperate than a motherfucker? Go fuck yourself. That's real fucked up, gang. You do desperate things when you are fucking desperate. And at this point, now I'm not ragging people who came to faith like this. But when your dick is in the dirt, when you don't know if you can't make your mortgage payment next month, when you're looking at eviction, getting your lights turned off, you'd be surprised. And I've told people this before, right? Don't judge the stripper. Not saying that all strippers are in this position or are porn stars. But I remember having this conversation with people that are financially comfortable. Let's just say that. It's like, you don't know what you would do in that desperate situation unless you're in that desperate situation. And they all like, no, I would never do that. You don't know that. You're going to go home to a 3-story house that's been in your family for fucking generations. You got more money than fucking common sense. So no, you don't know what pain is, right? But when you are desperate, when you are sitting there and your family member is dying or something real fucked up, you'd be surprised on what it is you may do. And in that spot, I'm not faulting anybody because desperation will make you do desperate things. But if you're going to sit there and hang your hat on, well, this lady was all kinds of fucked up and she was dying in front of her fucking family and they had no one. So it's like, I'll just try to pray her. Hey, God, don't let my mom die. This is just sitting on some bullshit. And their mother lived. I'm a Christian now. Roll the tape. I hate this motherfucker.
That causes them to wake up, like when tragedy happens.
What did I say?
I mean, sometimes you only look up when you're
I
on
haven't
your
seen
back.
this, gang.
And when that happens, if you stayed in that person's life long enough, your phone's going to ring and that person's going to be on the other end. They're not going to call their atheist friend when tragedy strikes. What's their atheist friend going to say? Well, stuff just happens. There's no rhyme or
No, this is what happens when you talk when you should listen. See, no, the difference is when you call your atheist friend, hey, something real fucked up. Oh, holy shit, why is my door knocking? Hey, it's me. Are you okay? What I'm not going to do is, hey, God, don't let that person get fucked up. They're sitting on some bullshit. No, I'm going to do something. There is the fucking difference. This is what happens when you talk for people instead of listening, right? What is he going to say? What's your atheist going to say? Oh, they're sitting on some bullshit. Your mom got raped and died in front of your fucking face. I don't care. I'm an atheist. I don't believe anything. No, not at all. True story. I remember in absolutely no details, but at work, I always say, if you ever need any backup, and this is for the people that I know and I trust, if you ever need backup, and if I'm using the term backup with you, you're in that circle. And I'm serious. If you ever need some backup, you call me. I got the backup call. I got the black signal, not the bat signal, the black signal. A lady that I know knew someone who, let's just say, was in very serious danger. And she did. She said, I need backup. Talk to me now. You know what I did? Let's just say I went and I fixed that situation the best I could. People were panicked. The shit was fucked up. I came, I'm like, oh, this is worse than what you said. This is hitting on some bullshit. And I went in there and I was immediately traffic cop. You do that. You do this is sitting on some bullshit. You pack a bag. Okay, this is what's going to happen. Break. That's what your atheist friend is going to do. They're going to act. What they're not going to do is sit across town and talk to themselves and act like something just happened. Roll the tape.
reason to it, get over it. No, they're going to call you a person of spiritual depth. When the student is ready, he or she will summon the teacher, but not before. So
we're not making it through this video.
Just pray and wait. I mean, you haven't always been a Christian. I haven't always been a Christian. Why do we expect everybody to believe what we believe right now? We shouldn't.
Yeah.
People are on a trajectory, either moving toward Jesus or away. Everybody is.
Frank, when you travel the country and you're talking to young people on college campuses, what are you being asked most right now?
Well, now the three top objections to Christianity are morality, morality, and morality.
What do you mean?
Well, it's all about LGBTQ issues. It's all about why did God kill the Canaanites? What about slavery in the Bible? Is the God of the Old Testament evil? What about there being only one way to Jesus? These are all moral questions.
I already know what he's going to.
That's what people struggle with because they think they have a moral standard that God needs to adhere to.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah. If there is a God, he should look up to me, not the other way around. My moral standard is if I can do something about it, I will. God's moral standard is be mysterious. Don't worry, I'll punish that person after they die. Unless he jerks me off or she jerks me off, then what they did to you really doesn't matter in the long run because I got the hand job, so they get to come to heaven. Yeah. If there is a God, that fuckface should look up to me. And I remember there was a writing at Auschwitz. And apparently one of our Jewish brothers and sisters scratched in the wall, if there is a God, he needs to answer to me. The world saw what Adolf Hitler was doing, so we went and we kicked his ass. God saw what Adolf Hitler did and knew what Adolf Hitler was going to do because everything goes down according to God's perfect plan and didn't do a fucking thing. While 4 to 6 million of God's chosen people took their last breath. Yeah. If I could do something to stop some bullshit like that, I will. If there is a God, he should look up to me, not the other way around. Roll the tape.
Well, I always ask them, what's your moral standard? Where are you getting this moral standard from?
Me.
And what do they say?
Well, they kind of fumble around because they'll just say, well, everybody knows this to be true. Well, I'm not asking you how you know it. I'm asking, what is the grounding for this standard?
My grounding is me, Robert motherfucking Reed. If I can stop rape from happening, I will. So I work on it. Well, why should I believe you? You don't have to. That's just it. What I'm not going to do is slap dick around and make a debate out of the topic of rape. You can go get fucked. I remember saying that to Chris in like the first 20 minutes because he asked me the same question. And I said, before you even answer it, you're right. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to agree with me. In the real world, we call that a disagreement. And as long as you think it, I don't care. If you do something, that's when I'm going to intervene. It's just that simple. So all this philosophical bullshit, the difference between me and these fuckfaces is I have human empathy. I've never been raped before a day in my life. Never. Done a lot of fucking. Never been raped. And I don't have to be raped to know. Sucks. I've heard the stories. I've heard lots of stories, and it's horrible. And as much as I don't like teaching self-defense, I'll never stop. As long as I'm physically able, I'll fucking do it. So I don't want it to happen. Yeah. I mean, why is this a topic of conversation? If you can do something to stop the bullshit, I think you should. What I don't think you should do is sit in $1 million studio and have this fucked up ass discussion because it doesn't help anything but make you feel better about your fucked up ass position. Roll the tape.
That you're saying everybody needs to adhere to.
No, again, we're going to end the fucking tape. I didn't say that. I've never said that. Actually, I always say the exact opposite. Checking the time on this bullshit. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to believe as I believe. But the one thing that your fucked up ass word game never addresses is the 5 minutes after. You're right. You don't have to agree. That I think black people should not be owned as slaves. You may think we should. You may even go so far as to attempt to own me as a slave. And here's the thing. You're right. You may win that fight. You could. But you also may not. I'm willing to go all the way. The question is, are you? You don't have to agree with me, right? Look at Papa. I think I should feed him dinner tonight. We're going to cuddle up. We're going to watch some vampire shit. We're going to have a good time. You think you should stab Papa. Now, again, as long as you just think that, I don't care. But if you act on it, we're going to have a problem. And you are right. You could beat me up and get to my beloved dog. Or you could not. Are you willing to take that chance? Because if you are, so am I. So let's meet in the middle. Let's use the last person standing. Your fucked up ass word games and philosophical bullshit does not address reality 1 ounce. Roll the tape.
I would imagine from the people I've talked to, they say, well, my standard is love. My standard is compassion, is kindness.
Love? You get love.
Why should you love somebody?
Why?
Well, because they'd say because it's the right thing to do.
That's the circle, though. You'd ask them,
right?
Why is it the right?
Pause the tape. In the tape. Don't look. I don't give a fuck. Get this piece of shit off my screen. Seriously, right? Again, why? Why? I left that stage about the 2nd or 3rd grade. Why? 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 Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You can't do this in your real life. Gang, Uncle Bob's only giving you one big motherfucking problem. So as a result, Uncle Bob's giving you one big motherfucking solution. Christian apologetics, shut the fuck up. I'm literally sitting here mad than a motherfucker. I did not watch one single solitary second of that bullshit until I watched it with you guys. Haters Belch, hashtag unprofessional. We almost made it halfway, but there was nothing left to watch. Why? 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 I did a show on it. We're gonna, maybe one of the 20 shows should be that. That was my first introduction to fuckface Frank Turk. When this motherfucker sat there to a 19, 20-year-old girl, and she said, hey, fuckface Frank Turk, I'm a good person, but I don't believe in your God. Am I going to go to hell? That's a very simple question. Almost 20 minutes later, and Turk never answered her question. He started off by making that child define every word in her motherfucking sentence. You're lying. You can't do this any other where, any other place, any other context. You can't do it. Ask me a simple question, I'm going to give you a simple motherfucking answer. Ask Turk a simple question, you just turned this into a 39-minute debate. You're lying. You're lying. Right? Why? Why? What do you mean by this? What do you mean by that? Try that in your everyday life. You will be jobless, homeless, single, and you will die alone. The big difference between me and fuckfaces like this, I keeps it real. I've got no interest in winning meaningless fucking debates, right? Right now, the big debate du jour is, should we pay college athletes? That's not a debate to me. They're employees. The answer is yes. And all you got for me is bullshit talking points, right? Well, no one made them play college football, just like no one's making you watch. If you feel that strongly about it, stop fucking watching. Right? You can do the exact same thing you did when you said Colin Kaepernick should, I'll never watch the NFL ever again. Robert, did you see what the Detroit Lions did on 4th and long? That was fucking tremendous. Shut the fuck up. It's not a debate. They're employees. They should be paid. Please go fuck yourself. That's what this is. Put up or fucking shut up. There's nothing to debate. I told you I'm drinking liquor. I don't have to ask you to define gin. I don't have to ask you to define alcohol. I know what it is. I've been on this planet 52 fucking years. Turk's been doing this probably as long as I've been alive, and he still sounds the fucking same. They are professional fucking liars. And gang, this is exactly what you sound like when your monkey ass ain't got the mods. Don't become a Christian apologist. All right, gang, the big guy's held you long enough. He's signing the fuck off. Gin and Truth, let's go. All right, gang, one show down, 19 more to go.